to you guys. Happy Monday, last Monday of June 2026. It's amazing and terrifying. So half the year is over. Today we have Dr. Scarlett Magdalen. She is an AVMA award-winning holistic veterinarian with over 15 years of clinical experience in emergency and general veterinary medicine. She completed her bachelor's in biology and doctorate of veterinary medicine from the Ontario Veterinary College, University of, help me out there.
Guelph.
Guelph. I would have ruined that absolutely in 2009. Subsequently, she completed a rotating internship in small animal medicine and surgery from Fifth Avenue Veterinarian Specialist in 2010 and has trained in traditional Chinese medicine, five element theory, and food therapy at Chi University. We've had so many Chi um, guest speakers. They turn out the most excellent individuals that are dynamic thinkers. You're also trained under Dr. Ava Frick in animal nutrition, clinical animal nutrition. Primarily that is dogs and cats, right?
Yes, and I'll do horses after. I realize there's a huge need for it. I just can only chew off so much.
There is a really big need in equine knowledge. It's interesting. You're one of the most fascinating veterinarians I've ever met, and I've had the honor of meeting you. I met you in Tennessee at Dr. Jill and Dr. Margot Roman's conference regarding ozone and cancer oncology. Dr. Claudia Costa was there too. And it was a really cool, intimate group of progressive veterinarians. And you have this whole global experience that jaw dropped me. You like if you guys hop on her Instagram, I like cyber stalked her a little bit, and she has these beautiful romantic pictures of her with elephants and zebras. And so, and then you look like you have the Serengeti behind you. I don't even know what that is. So please fill us in on the real Dr. Scarlett, because I feel like that's a very starchy intro to who you really are.
Wow. Well, I've evolved a lot, uh, especially in the last 5 years. So I think if I were to encapsulate that question, I would say leading with my heart instead of my mind is paramount, and being mindful of the implications of my actions and really whether there's harm associated with it. And that heal without harm principle is what drove me to this path here. And all of my work with Veterinarians International um, had this theme of Western medicine overtaking traditional knowledge. And it didn't resonate well with me seeing in certain environments where I was privileged to go to the deep jungles of Myanmar and Thailand and see how mahouts or elephant keepers have been coexisting with elephants for centuries. And they know all their medicinal plants, and the elephants actually know what they need to eat. And they're brilliant. They roam and forage for a reason. And um, the impact of chemicals, not only in the body but in the environment, had this resonance with me that never left. And it started in vet school and it ended the day I quit emergency medicine on June 8th of 2023. And I'm someone who has deep concern over my patients and goes to the greatest lengths to find solutions that don't have any side effects associated with them and can yield optimal outcomes and can reverse conditions in ages of animals, because it's possible. We are designed this way. And so what I do is just work with the body's innate healing capacity to heal itself, and put the empowerment in the pet owner's hands, and just have this miraculous vibe that really lights people up and keeps me going, because I now live extremely inspired, and every day I'm revitalized, versus my old life. I was falling apart and barely made it. So I'm a joyous person who really aspires to live in magic and share what I can with the world from my heart.
Dr. Scarlett, you do that. And it's interesting, when I first met you, you were wearing this amazing linen outfit. And and we're like, did what is she wearing? Because it was so non-traditional, non-American. And you went into detail about linen, the health of linen, the vibration of it, the well-being of living cleanly. And you have this sanctuary that your quest is purity, it seems like.
Yes. Yeah. Um, because if we can bring that forth, then we can prevent so many conditions. And I'm on a mission to revolutionize our profession, to create a system that focuses on prevention and revitalization rather than fear based approaches that are reactionary. And as a result, I think our suicide rate will dramatically go down, and vets will be able to see their children and actually have a meal with them and not skip lunch, and put themselves last. Um, it's not okay where we are. I acknowledge it, and I'd like to help however I can without any fight.
Well, I think you're doing that. You're being seen and heard and acknowledged as a thought leader. And congratulations, you just had a major magazine article come out, right? Yeah.
That was exciting. I was
That
like,
is
oh
exciting.
my gosh, I'm so fortunate that this like happened, because they allowed me to share my story, and like no edits, just full on, and um, just it's just sharing what is, and no, like I said, no fight attached. No, we don't have to fight. We can just be and create and reveal what we are learning and sharing, and that's it. Like that's all we have to do is do what is in highest alignment with our heart, and let everything else deal with itself, because I realize that if we fight, we're only losing our energy and our power to have optimal outcomes.
Well, it's interesting. I used to be a horse trainer, and when I would teach kids or beginner riders, I noticed within the industry there was a lot of frustration on communication. But if you actually understood what you were saying, there was never a fight. Like if you could convey it, if you could articulate it, if you could capture that and represent that, it's almost like everybody could picture and feel and taste and become that. And the fun thing is I had this amazing horse that if a horse wasn't learning his job correctly, if he wasn't capable, I gave him grace. If he was capable, I'd put my horse who loved his job next to him and let him live side by side. and that horse figured it out, which
Beautiful.
was really cool. I'd be
Yeah.
like, just and his name was Chance. So I always tell everybody I learned by chance. So
Oh.
yeah. So I know you have gone around the world celebrating animal health and wellness and natural medicine. We had Greg Tilford on last week, I think, and he basically said the animals were the first herbalists,
Hmm.
which I
Totally.
love. So please fill us in. How'd you end up going from conventional, starchy individual to a free-thinking, unafraid, unashamed veterinarian?
My body shut down and I had brain fog. Like I was probably the last 2 years of my uh, practicing emergency medicine and even running Vets International. And I finally listened to my body, and I was privileged to meet some wise souls who had offered an invitation for me to work with shamans in Costa Rica and sit with different plant medicines. And I took this very seriously, and I do give credit to the plants for their consciousness, for their clarity. And so for like 4 years, I was um, going between ER and different ceremonies in Colombia and Costa Rica. And I would get clearer and clearer on what was happening in the system. And I just saw the parallel between humans and animal medicine. And it was like crystal clear at that point. Um, and then I looked at like who's driving all of this, who's behind, what's the energy, what's the intention. And it's really simple. It all comes down to greed. And so I got sick. Like my body literally shut down from this energy and from contributing to um, the system. So I had a lot of guilt and shame that I had to deal with. And these ceremonies helped me have compassion and forgiveness for myself. And I've been a Kundalini yogi for 10 years. And that has been a huge part of my foundation of being able to navigate and see the beauty in everything. And my Kundalini teacher invited me to a rewilding women's retreat in Crawford, Colorado, September 2023. And this land is so potent. Crawford has the highest per capita of regenerative farmers in the country. And it's the salt of the earth, soul um, revival. People are dressed and living like nothing's changed in 100 years. And I, uh, I met my ancestors there through the trees, and it was profound. And that's when I got the message that I would like to communicate with spirit without the plants, because I'm very cognizant of their sacredness and how difficult, like how much effort goes into preparing them. These families spend weeks praying and harvesting, and now there's like a huge surge of people doing these ceremonies in America, which is a very controversial, contentious issue. And set and setting is important. And I didn't want to be someone who was unnecessarily working with the plants and honored them. And so at that point, I really felt like I didn't need them anymore. And so I met a woman who had been a volcanologist, and she works with obsidian. And she was teaching me that this is a cell phone to Gaia, and it's the blood of Mother Earth. And it's the only glass made from nature, and it has no crystals in it. So if you look at obsidian under the microscope, it's completely clear, and you can use it to channel and to do shadow work and like receive messages that your subconscious is what the subconscious controls everything, but we are often blocked from that because of the ego. And so the obsidian helps to seek truth and true authentic truth from Mother Earth. So I started working with obsidian because I met this woman, and then she invited me to train with her, and I knew that this was like the next thing for me. And so I started training with her, and then May, she invited me back to this land that I was mentioning. And at that point, I knew I needed to just move here. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I did like 4 ER shifts in New York. Definitely didn't have enough money for what I was about to do, but I had enough to get by for, 2 months. And I really like asked spirit, like, what is it that you want me to do? Like, I'm surrendering. I'm clearly not doing things properly because my health is in shambles. And I got the guidance to live in an off-grid cabin and just be in nature. So I I put on the Paonia, Colorado, the Paonia message board, which is the town next to Crawford, that like exactly what I was looking for. And this farmer wrote back and he says, I think I have what you're looking for. And it was exactly what I envisioned. Like, it wasn't a rundown cabin that didn't have windows and there was like mice in it. It was actually like very clean, and the windows were working. It did not have running water, but it had some electricity, like enough for me to boil water and have a light. And the power would go out a lot because I got a little selfish with the amount of power I was using, and I would, break the fuse. But it was extremely humbling. And I'm telling you, this old adage of chop wood, carry water is extremely vital to our primal instinct revitalization. Um, and so,
Hold on, Dr. Scarlett. I want to
yes.
know a little more about that. Is this chop wood, carry water? I've not really heard that term, and I'm thinking in my mind, I think I know what that means, but do I really know what it means? Are do your basic survival needs and not be greedy or excessive? Is that where you're going
Oh,
with
it's
that?
yeah, that's definitely the outcome, because when you're chopping wood and you're carrying water, you now recognize the sacredness of these resources, because A, they're from the earth. B, uh, if you were to like cut electricity out, or you didn't have like a stream, or you didn't have, literally running water, you start like thinking about things very, very differently. And so that 18-month, or it was 14-month staunch like really brought out resourcefulness to degrees that I didn't have before, and being in deep gratitude for everything that I have. And I mean, like you mentioned purity, like I'm not going to say I'm a purist. I'm not like perfect, but I do my best. And so water, unfortunately, is extremely contaminated. And so I would drive 40 minutes to my friend's house who had a Kangen filter, and I would spend like an hour and a half filling up these gallon jugs and then putting them in my Jeep and taking them to my cabin and carrying them in and all of that. So it is a combination of just doing basic mundane actions and finding the holiness in the mundane.
I
And
agree.
then
I
you can
agree.
do anything. Like
Right.
this allows you to deal with anything. There is no job that's too big, too gross, too yucky. You just do it.
How'd you grow up?
Oh, I'm so fortunate to have the parents that I had. My parents were medical doctors in Hungary. They got their degrees, and at that time, Russia was occupying Hungary. This is post World War II. Russia occupied Hungary until 1989. So I don't know how familiar you are with communism, but it's this overarching big brother energy that like watches everything you do and controls your resources, your money, your food. So my dad had to wait every Friday in line for a loaf of bread for the family. And the day he graduated medical school, the Russians came looking for him to put him in the army, and he had uh, connections to Italy, and was able to escape in different trunks of cars across the border. And yeah, um, and so my mom had dual citizenship to Yugoslavia and Hungary, so she was able to just get on a train and go to Italy. And so they lived there for 6 months, waiting for their refugee papers. And so they arrived to Canada in 1972, and they had accents, and it was very difficult for them to just, make it. And so they had gone through all their challenges to be able to get their internships and then their licenses, but they did it. And then my brother and I were born 10 years later. So we were born after all of the hardship. And it was just really a privileged childhood. But we were always taught to appreciate what we had. So I was like peeling potatoes at 3 and mopping floors at 6. And, chores were like part of life. And then you were able to receive what you wanted, but you had to work for it. So that work ethic was, ingrained in me. And then it's in my DNA, their survival story. Plus, Hungarians have been occupied and attempted to be taken over since our country was formed. So there's a deep survival instinct in my DNA. I'm pure Hungarian. And we had a cottage that was on a lake in the middle of a forest. So I would literally take off and get lost for hours and just find my way back home. And so becoming like independent and resourceful was something that was ingrained in my brother and I since we were young. And my parents were probably get arrested for what they allowed us to do. Like I was driving a car at 11 years old on like the highway. Um,
You're a ranch kid, basically. But
yeah,
in Canada,
exactly. Um,
yeah.
and so it's like, rules are guidelines, but they're not like necessary for um every decision that needs to be made. And so I will definitely say that I'm an out of the box person, and was fortunate to start traveling since I was 17, and would just convince my parents to let me go on these expeditions that I created for myself. And so at 17, I went to the Belize Zoo and I was hand rearing a 10-week-old spider monkey and learning how to make her formulas. And I lived in a hut that was like 2 miles from the zoo, and she would sit on my shoulder and I would just walk to the hut. And I mean, we had a tarantula incident, and it was all of these like, okay, here's the situation, figure it out kind of moments that, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And with Vets International, it's like the same thing. You just, you find these problems and think you're going to solve them. And learn some really hard things about humanity and life and reality. But I don't think if you don't try, you really have no idea what's possible. And so there's an Audrey Hepburn quote: "Anything is possible because I'm possible." And you just look at the word impossible and put an
I
apostrophe
am
after the I. And it's
possible.
like,
Yes. Yes. I totally believe that too. Absolutely. So I'm blown away by this. That you
aw,
were 17 years old and you're like, I'm gonna go on this thing by yourself
yeah.
internationally. Tell me what Veterinarian International is. That like Doctors Without Borders?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so it's a organization that aims to empower veterinarians on the ground with training and equipment. So it's not about Western vets doing vet work, and I appreciate that's a model, but it's not one that I am in alignment with. I have a strong desire to empower locals on the ground and let them care for their own animals. And so, like Sri Lanka, for example, we were partnered with the Department of Wildlife Conservation, which is one of the only countries that funds, their government funds a veterinary unit. Like it's very impressive in Asia. So they didn't have an X-ray machine. So these guys are doing like raptor wing surgeries with their bare hands and no anesthetic gas machine, just injectables. And they would have a decent success rate, but you can imagine how much more one can optimize with an x-ray machine and with anesthesia. So two simple pieces of equipment. The entire department came for this training, and we had an owl, we had sea turtle with a hook in its neck, and the elephants, the baby, this is a baby elephant orphanage, and these guys like learned in a day. And we had Romain Pizzi with us, who's probably the top wildlife surgeon in the world, and they took it on and started using the machine, and then they would send us reports, and a snake was anesthetized. Like there's nothing these guys would not anesthetize to save. And it was like such rewarding work to just provide two pieces of equipment and watch an entire department like transform. So that's basically like Vets International. And I do have to say one more thing because I'm so proud of this. Kenya, there was no communication between the vet school, Kenya Wildlife Service, and the county government. And this was an opportunity that I saw that needed to be mended. And I don't believe, as the white woman, I'm really the one to do it. So there was a vet student named Grace Watene who stood out from every other student by like a landslide. And I just always remembered her. And when she graduated, this vision came to me of having Kenyan vet students have their own wildlife training program. And so I asked Grace if she wants to be our Kenya country program director. And she's like, yeah. And so this young woman, Kenyan, got the director of Kenya Wildlife Service, the dean of the vet school, the head of the Laikipia County government in one table, and created a conglomerate. And there's a scientific paper published by all these players. They were kind enough to put my name on it, but they're kicking ass. Like we just had our third cohort of Kenyan vet students go to the wild like last week. So if you follow Vets International Instagram, you'll see these Kenyan students talking about their experience and how their lives have changed because of it. So that's Vets International in a nutshell. I'm not good at saying things shortly.
No worries. I'm just so fascinated. And I didn't realize that there was such a deficit.
Oh
Like, I'm
gosh.
so Americanized. I just assume you go down the road to your local vet. I can
Right.
go 5 miles to three different veterinarian.
Right. We are so privileged. We are overprivileged, actually. And we've become wasteful and unaware of really how fortunate we are. And it's not a fault of our own. There's no blame here. I'm just pointing out what happens when you are not exposed to lack or hardship, um, or really the reality of the rest of the world. Like, I'm telling you, as someone who's been to over 30 countries, the majority of the world does not live like the United States of America. And it's a huge disparity and it's a reality, and it is what it is. And we are we are responsible for our brothers and sisters and for this planet. We must take accountability. And so, whatever thing you can do to be in service is all that's needed. And the world will be a better place, as Jane Goodall many times said. Like, each action is not unnoticed.
Amazing. You're making me feel really guilty. Um, just the fact that we have our own, I live on a ranch and I have my own well, and I'll turn on the water and it just shows up. And if I spill some over, it's not a big deal. The soil gets watered too. So I'm a little
No, no,
desensitized.
no. No, don't guilt is a terrible low vibration and it doesn't yield positive outcomes. And so uh the key is to be grateful, and you can also energetically share the essence of what you have with the rest of the world. So when I eat, I say a prayer, I bless the food, and I share this essence with those who are without. And people might think I'm crazy, but everything I'm saying has been validated. Um, just look it up. Like, our words are powerful. They have a vibration.
They create
The
world.
water carries it. Veda Austin has studied this for 30 years. And everything's interconnected. Every energy, every vibration impacts another. And so, as long as we're in gratitude and we're not greedy, um, that's all that's required of us.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder because I do feel super privileged to live in the US as a single
Hmm.
woman, to own my own ranch. And I know there's foreign countries where that might not be such an achievable thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the world is perfect as it is, and people would think I'm crazy, but there there's a reason why things are as they are, why Creator allows all of this really horrible things to happen. And it's duality, it's polarity. It allows us to have perspective. Like, if you're having cheesecake every single day, you're not going to appreciate it. You're actually going to be like, please get this away. But if you have it like twice a year, it's now like this huge opportunity you can savor. And so that's the key, is like, um being grateful and understanding that, like, we're all here to evolve into a higher level of consciousness, and pain and suffering enables that. I'm not
Well, I
condoning it. I'm
agree.
just saying I understand why it is the way it is.
Adversity is an opportunity. That is how we like strive, achieve, step up, think harder, ponder other outcomes. The way, like the model that you were living within the traditional vet space was not serving you. And so, yes, I love this conversation. Thank you for this because in order to have change, there must be a little pain.
Absolutely. It gives you perspective. And I didn't understand this through all the evolutions I went through, because when you're in it, you just want it to stop. But there the moment you surrender and you trust and you ask yourself, what is the lesson that I'm being asked to learn? And you face it, the whole everything shifts. Like that's how we evolve.
Dr. Scarlett, I feel like I've gotten so cyberly stimulated that I've gotten really disconnected from the beautiful things around me. And it's really this weekend was my birthday. And you guys, thank you for all the happy birthday. Um, and I pondered like what do I really want out of this year and prayed. And the answer was to disconnect from cyber and reconnect to nature more because I have been so overstimulated. So I hate to say the word performing, but I feel like it's a little bit like that, not all the way. I don't know a better word for it though. And so I've lost a part of me. And so, yeah, I thank you for this conversation because I believe it's a big reminder that we all just need to get back to the baseline. And I do believe that what we're living in right now, the plug-in world that we live in, could go away. I don't know if it will or won't, but I do want to be prepared in case it does.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's a fascinating thought. And happy birthday, by the way. I hope you have a blissful year with peace, love, health, and prosperity. And
I want to do the Vulcan sign on that. Yeah.
you don't have to go far. Like, you can just put your feet on the earth. And
Yeah.
like before this call, like 2 hours ago, there's this hidden meadow in the forest, and it's grassy. And I sunbathe there, and then I read, and there was like a shady spot, and I just took a nap. And I set an intention. I was like, please wake me up in 20 minutes so I don't miss Poppy's uh, interview. And an insect started crawling on me 20 minutes later, and I was like, thank you. Like, it's that simple. Like you, and I'll just say one thing about that. I cannot recommend technology detox at least once a month, and I'm talking no clock. So you hide the clock everywhere in your house, and you don't know what time it is, and obviously no electronics. It will reset you in such a profound way, so you're in rhythm with the moon and the sun and the stars. And it's how we were designed. And you'll start noticing that these superpowers that we have are starting to come forward because they've been suppressed so much. But we really have incredible capabilities as humans. It's a privilege to be a human, and it's exciting to learn like what capabilities are. Like, we are telepathic beings, and I think the autists are here to really remind us that and show us how to reconnect with ourselves.
Okay, I have to ask you, in all your travels, have you seen Bigfoot?
Ha! um, I have not. Um, I had a giant bull elephant come like 20 feet away from me at the middle of the night. He broke off his chains, and this was when I was doing research in Thailand, and I would sit at the computer typing my notes, and it was like pouring rain, and I heard this chain drag, and I was like, oh, that's an elephant. And I decided to get out and check it out, and we like came eye to eye, like, I don't know, maybe 10 feet away. And I just said, like, I love you. I hope you find what you need. Because I got to tell you, like, the guy's in a pretty crappy situation.
Right.
uh, he's a he's a domestic, not a domestic. There are no domestic elephants. Um, he's a captive elephant who got free from his chains. And so I don't know what happened to him, but that's my Bigfoot story.
And it's a big foot, that's for sure. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I heard um before the big tsunami, the elephants in Thailand were running down and saving people.
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't, I'm sure that's true. I just don't know about it. I know that the animals were moving like hours before, um, changing their behavior and going to high ground. But yeah, that's really, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, if anyone's really into elephants and wants like an inspiring story, look up Lawrence Anthony, and it's just absolutely mind blowing how brilliant these and soulful this Lawrence Anthony story is about telepathy and animals being able to detect death, um, from very far away and come to mourn the loss of a loved one, whether it's a human or an animal. There, it's the same empathy or sympathy rather, and yeah, amazing creatures.
It is amazing. I have heard that story where they all celebrated his passing.
Mm. Yeah, they
Yeah,
came in a procession 12 hours away to his home and paid their respects.
that's profound.
I know.
That's so amazing. So what is the most life learning situation from the wild animals from the international exposure that you've lived?
Mm. Compassion and patience. Because when I look at the baby elephants, they are brought to this orphanage because either they separated from the herd from like a ditch, or they got caught in a snare, or there were gunshots, and and they're like these innocent victims, and they go through this 5 year rehab program, and then they go back in the environment they came from. And so it's like I I feel that they know what is going on and they're waiting for us to wake up. And I really saw this in Thailand with elephants that were chained with their front feet shackled for 20 hours a day in the sun, stereotyping, head bobbing, and they could break those chains if they wanted to, but they're I think they have a deeper knowing, and it's I believe animals are angels sent to us to wake us up and show us our humanity, our heart, lead us to our heart. So yeah, compassion, patience, and trust.
And wisdom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
It
No, and no ego, like being authentic.
it's always baffled me how we're so disconnected. We're the ones going to Starbucks, driving our cars to work, sitting on the cell phones, and they exist. And they exist without any of that. And they are fine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, everything has a purpose, and it's up to us in how we utilize these um, resources. And we have a choice, like we really do. It's just getting out of the mind control energy behind all of it and stepping into our authenticity and being like, what do I actually want and what is true for me, and then just, you know, navigating your life accordingly. Like this past weekend I was I went to Crawford and was serving the farmers there, and I stayed in an off-grid cabin, like completely immersed in nature. I did my yoga there, and I was like, I am so privileged that I can do this. Like I decided to work in this one community this weekend, and that was a choice. Like I used to be the person you're talking about, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, is it true and authentic for you? And um, what's the impact of what you're doing? And then whatever those answers are, um, you know, ponder on.
Right. And just like I am possible as impossible, responsibility, our response and our ability to respond is
Hmm.
also equally a powerful pondering of how do you want to be a participant in the situation.
And that's the question we're being asked because I think the enslavement of humanity is coming to an end. And this work culture of we have to work to put food on the table and everything's about work and we're last, our families are last, and everything's about making money. That's not living. That's not what we came here to do. And so, as this enslavement ends, we will then be asked, what is your purpose? What do you want to do on this planet? How do you want to show up and contribute? And those are the questions we need to start asking ourselves now
That's
because we are
actually
in the biggest evolution of humanity in the history of this planet right now. This is a very exciting time to be alive despite the chaos. The chaos is necessary. You have to have destruction before you can have creation. So roll with it.
just like childbirth, right? The
Like
pain of
what?
childbirth,
Oh,
the pain prior to creation, the end product, the birthing of a new thing. Yeah. And so that is why I dropped out of horse training. I couldn't
uh-huh.
make horses go round and round for blue ribbons and to pad
Oh,
people's egos to win buckles and saddles as
yeah.
this horse has to be a cookie cutter. Um, I just I love riding and I want to ride more, but there's this balance where we're like, okay, humans can take things beyond natural and healthy, and then we have to reset ourselves. We have to find that balance. Yeah.
Yeah, and some horses love uh, assisting, um,
Yes, they do.
and offering healing, which is a very contentious issue, and some of them love performing. And so, like, I remember talking to Guy Liberté, the founder of Cirque du Soleil, a long time ago, and I asked him, like, what do you think of animals in circuses? And he's like, is the animal happy doing what it's doing, or is it imprisoned? If it's happy and it loves doing what it's doing, then I don't think it's a bad thing. And I swear to you, I literally could not accept this until like this year, um, because I finally get what he's talking about working with autists and the horse boy method of riding, which is like dressage and Western, and seeing how these horses like want to allow these kids to go through their process and be wild and scream and move quickly, and the horses are like calm and they are patient and they don't react to what's happening because they know what's going on. Now this isn't for every horse, but I'm just saying, like, there are certain horses that are like, this is their god-given purpose because they see what they do with these individuals. So I think if your horse wants you to ride it, and like you're being invited to ride, you can ask the question like, can I sit on you today? Like, would you like to go for a ride? And like, feel into it. And the answer is yes, then like, go. Have
Yeah.
fun.
I love that. It does make total sense. And I do actually do that. Do you feel like you can start writing again? Do you want to? And I muscle test that. So often
Uh,
the answer is yes, but I do need to get their teeth bloated. So I've
oh.
been putting that off. I never want their yes to cause them pain. I'm like, oh, I have to do my diligence on my side to keep that a really happy experience for all of us.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Dr. Scarlett, this has been amazing. Any parting words before we open the floor for the members?
I just listen to your heart and let the heart lead and the mind follow, and your whole life will transform for the greatest good of yourself and all.
What I love about your story is the agenda of being money, like being honed to be a slave to money. And when you broke that, that no harm came from it. Like that fear, that programming, that rat race, when you finally said, I'm stopping this, it only allowed you freedom.
Exactly. And I'm so healthy now. I just did a 10-mile hike the other week, and I haven't done that in like literally 6 years, put my body in that kind of situation. And I like prevailed effortlessly. So you really do get rewarded when you listen to your heart, like in profound ways.
That's awesome. If you guys on the live stream want to shout out any questions, if you want to ask anything or share any takeaways, please unmute yourselves, turn on your videos if you want. Charlene, unmute. There's Callie.
Hi, Dr. Scarlett.
Hello.
Oh, you remember Charlene and Callie? They were at Charlene was working the Tennessee event.
Oh, I love her. Hi.
Hi. I was so many times about reaching out to you, and then I get distracted. I usually do all my shooting while I'm driving the car, which I can't do.
You sound underwater. Is your thumb over your speaker?
Whoopsie. Hold on just a second. Let me go turn it off.
No.
Hold on.
So I'm so glad you remember Charlene.
Of course.
Okay, I got it. I got it off now.
There you go.
Sorry. I had the Bluetooth speaker on because I was feeding the dogs when I got home from swim.
That's awesome.
So I was saying I've thought so many times about reaching out to you since the conference, but I think about in the car. And then by the time I get home, I'm distracted doing all the things. So I totally want to reach out even more now. So at that conference, I fell in love with you. Just every time you spoke up, I was like, she gets it. She gets it on a different level than some of these other people. And I just so appreciated your presence, like how you showed up for people, and especially for Callie, of course.
Oh, how's she doing?
She's doing amazing. She's doing so much better.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank you so much for how you showed up for her.
Of course.
Yay!
But after hearing your story tonight, I love you even more. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you for being here. Callie says hi.
Callie was sharing love with that tongue.
I know. She wants to kiss at every chance she gets.
Look at her. Yep, there you go.
Yep. I've learned to be faster than her. Other people have not, and she gets them. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for
That's
having
awesome.
me.
Thank you, Charlene. Kathleen, did you want to say anything? No, Mary. Mary, where are you?
I joined super duper duper late, enough to hear the elephant story, but we're having a massive heat wave in Michigan. So I was out in my barn cooling all the horses under fans. So I joined super late. I'll have to listen back, but it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
I do have a question. I missed the very beginning. Where do you live? What state are you in?
Thank you for asking.
I live in Aspen, Colorado.
Oh, okay. That's pretty far from Nashville, but me and Kelly have always wanted to go to Colorado.
That's awesome. So, Dr. Scarlett, how do we get in touch with you if people are in your area? Can they use you as a veterinarian? Do you have books? Do you have courses? Do you have anything out there? What's your deal?
I have my website, the Regenerative Sanctuary .com. I'm Dr. Scarlett on Instagram, and I do second opinion consults virtually. and strong focus on nutrition. And I'm in the Roaring Fork Valley, so I serve a few communities here, and um, yeah, my website's probably the best resource to just see like what the offerings are and if you'd like to get in touch.
Awesome. All right, you guys, any other questions or let me check the chat.
Can I ask for your website one more time?
Oh
One more
yeah,
time? Yeah.
let me put it here in the chat. The Regenerative
Super.
Sanctuary. And I know people have a hard time spelling that word.
I think I found you on Facebook. Oh, there it is. And then your website's there.
But
All
I
right.
wanted to
The
bring that word into the forefront because we need it.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you introduced yourself as the regenerative vet, I was like, wait, what does that mean? And I actually Googled it and there was somebody else talking about regenerative vet care. So it's different than what I had initially thought it was.
What did you think
And
it was?
um like regenerative agriculture
Uh-huh.
towards the vet space in regards to renewing resources. Like Dr. Jill, a quirky thing about Dr. Jill's office is they never throw paper away. They just flip the paper over and use it again for their printer. And so they're very recycling conscientious, things like that, which I appreciate. But I wasn't sure how you could be a regenerative vet, but also just hearing you speak regenerative in regards to rejuvenating yourself. And
Yeah.
so that's a whole different ideology in my head. Yes, absolutely. Well, Dr. Scarlett, we love you. We appreciate your time. We celebrate your journey. We can't wait to follow all your adventures, all your crazy, wonderful, big, beautiful experiences.
So sweet. Thank you for the opportunity, for thinking of me and having me. It's an honor, and I admire what you do as well and look forward to it being shared more widely with the world.
Thank you. The iridology has been amazing. Many of the students here are watching, and so
Well,
it's,
yeah, you should come for that next week.
oh yeah,
Is it?
we do it every first Monday of the month here on Zoom.
At what
We
time?
we start at 4 because it takes us so long to get through
Or
cases.
Pacific.
4
Yeah,
Pacific.
that sounds cool.
You can hop in between 4 and like 5:30 Pacific, and we will be here till 7, usually. Right, Charlene?
But then how are you doing
Yeah.
your Monday call?
So people in the membership just post their irises and we throw them up on the Zoom and discuss them.
Mhm.
But
You
you
should
have
come.
this
You'd be
call.
fascinated by it. It's really cool.
Yeah, bring some elephant irises.
Oh.
Ooh.
My God.
Do you have exotic
I
irises?
could ask Dr. Malika to get us some. He has
That
a
would be
professional
amazing.
camera.
That would
Um,
be,
I think if you send the instructions, I can send them to him so he's clear on the angle and the lighting and all of that.
I
Charlene has that YouTube, right, Poppy?
it's my YouTube.
Oh, you YouTube. Okay.
I don't know if
No.
Charlene has puts Callie in the wash machine to take her iris photos. So
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, not Charlene. Yeah.
Cheyenne. Yeah.
Cheyenne, thank you. Ooh, man.
I'm like, don't learn from Charlene.
Yeah.
Don't do what Charlene does for
I
iris
wouldn't even
photos.
know how to put something on YouTube, so definitely not me.
No, it was Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Maybe you talked about this. Can I ask a question real quick before we close?
Mary, of course. I always
Okay.
accept that.
I just had to look at I just had to look at your website. So, and you might have talked about this but I'm just curious and interested. So, hair tissue analysis and the gut microbiome testing. What labs do you use?
Analytical research labs and
Hmm.
VDI.
In VDI? Okay, thank you.
Yay. I love VDI.
That's what
Mhm.
we had talked about at the conference about doing with Callie. I still am interested in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We, I,
I've asked Randy to be a guest to share from a pet parent perspective what his offerings are and to go further his veterinarian teams, the groups of vets that use him consistently. And I think he's been really busy lately. But
Mhm.
Traveling. I think he's coming back soon. But that would be a fantastic. Do you archive your talks?
yeah, and this will go on YouTube too. So I will link all your contact info on the YouTube live stream. And so people get to be introduced to you. I have a small YouTube channel. I'm not like anything famous by any degree. I just keep showing up every Monday. That's it.
And
but
that's
it's
all that
growing.
matters.
It
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
It's the
growing.
quality, not the quantity.
Hmm.
Thank
It's
you.
it's it's so fun to see veterinarians as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been so valuable to me to see the hardship. Like when we all met for the first time, one of my comments was, I wouldn't want to be you. I never wanted, I wanted to help animals, but I never wanted to be a veterinarian. It was just sounded like so exhausting and hard. And yeah, so when I was in second grade, I wrote out what I wanted to do for my life in big Crayola print. And it was a stable manager or horse trainer and something like a veterinarian. And I
Wow.
was like, why would I write something like, but
Amazing.
not a vet?
You already knew.
I
That's
already
so
knew.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
When I saw that, my mom showed that to me before they passed. She had kept it. And she goes, I want you to see this. And I was just like, whoa, why would I write that? It didn't even exist yet, the career that I have.
Incredible.
Yeah,
The seeds were planted.
that's poppy seeds. That's what they are.
So cute.
Hey, Dr. Scott, I have a nutrition question if you don't mind.
Sure.
And if you don't want to answer this specifically, I understand. But you know about Dr. Judy and her recipes that she has?
Not in great detail, but I do know that they're TCBM oriented with their thermodynamics.
Is that good or bad? I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
it's good.
Okay. Because Callie's on the pup loaf. And so I just was curious from a nutrition standpoint, like what you thought about that.
Oh, well, you used her guide to discern what the TCVM pattern diagnosis is. She has like a question. Uh,
So I think that's for like her symptom specific recipes or for like hot cold recipes, but she has a general recipe just called pup
oh
loaf.
yeah, so I think if you go through like her test, it will give you the pattern, and then you'll know the type of diet to give because that's being like super specific where is it warming, is it cooling, is it moving, stagnation, all of that. So um because she offers the process, I believe it's free. I
Yeah.
would just do that, and then you can uh pretty easily discern if it's the right diet for her for the pattern diagnosis. If you
Okay.
want to get like super cellular, then doing a hair test is taking it another level because it will tell you if they're fast or slow oxidizers and then the kind of protein that is in alignment. And then you want to take it one more level above that. There's bioresonance feedback testing, and that will give you the kinds of fruits, vegetables, and proteins that are in alignment with your dog.
Dr.
Okay.
And
Scarlett, who do you do your testing through?
Ava Frick.
Okay. So she has her own bioresonant testing instead of like Glacier Peak or Five Strands or
Yeah,
so.
no, she does it herself.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And can you explain what that testing is? Like, what does that mean?
So every being has frequencies coming off of them, whether they're from pathogens, bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, cancer, or from a organ system that is not in alignment and it's working extra hard. And there are subluxations in the body. And so there is the current gold standard is the Metatron. It's a $50,000 machine that will tell you every single thing that's happening in the body, and it includes vitamin, mineral deficiencies. So that's like a machine, right? But Dr. Frick uses her own uh, body, her own energy system with a device, and she's a chiropractor as well. I mean, she's one of the smartest vets on the planet. She customized the animal hair nutrition test, the hair mineral analysis test, to create the norms for cats and dogs and horses. And so it tells you what kinds of foods are agreeable or not. Are there also like heavy toxins, and are there subluxations going on? And so you send a photo of the animal saliva sample from a cotton ball and some hair. And um, she then gives you the results and then also the recommended intervention that's a combination of homeopathy, nutrition, and whole food nutrition, like clinical nutrition.
Wow. That sounds
Yeah, I'm like, can you imagine learning this? Like,
no. That
it
sounds amazing.
requires like, somebody to have gone into self-actualization and
Yeah,
all the things I was talking about earlier, because you can't be distracted.
right. Yeah, you got to separate out yourself, and not everyone can do that. Poppy, we need that lady as a guest
I
one month.
know, I was just thinking that. In the back of my head, I think I might have asked her, but sometimes all those asks get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Scarlett, if you could put in a good word for us, that would be
I'll just make
awesome.
an email connection and be like, you should be on her show.
That would
That
be
would be amazing.
very good.
Kathleen, what's your question?
Do they do this for horses and cats as well as dogs?
Yes.
What about rabbits?
I believe so.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
But I can't be 100% sure. I'm like 95% sure. And if you go on to, if you just type in like Dr. Ava Frick, I think her website is dravafrick.com. You'll find like all of these offerings. The bioresonance feedback test, you might have to like, contact her, because our profession isn't quite ready for this yet. But it could just be on the website. Let's see here. Yeah, it's avafrick.com.
That's super.
Excellent. Thank you.
AVA, not EVA.
Correct.
Okay. FRICK.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
We look forward to
She's
it.
absolutely incredible. Like, I have so much respect for this lady, and she just somehow manages to do all the things that she does.
I have immense respect and awe for all you people. It's like, oh, you really encourage me to
Good.
go further.
Yeah, that's like we're all here to inspire each other.
And we're here with a purpose.
Yeah.
So all of you, after this conversation, I inspire you to ponder your purpose and challenge if you're actually in alignment with that.
Yeah, get out of our comfort zone and go out and do something and be something.
Right.
That's it.
Contribute to the community, the planet, whatever is around you. You have to give. I believe you need to give to receive in regards to at the right place at the right time, but and with the right heart, right? So if you're giving to get, that is never healthy.
Yeah, and something I just learned recently was to shift the give and take mindset to sharing and receiving. And now there's no lack. There's no loss.
Sharing and receiving. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It really helped me like shift in my relationships dramatically where you have no expectations of the other person, especially a partner. Um, you now can be in harmony. Um, yeah, it's so basic but so profound.